There are many factors that place American Indian youth at risk. It's these risk factors that can directly contribute to these youth not developing to their full potential or alter their view on becoming valuable members of their communities. We have many goals for these young people. Primary is that they learn about their own culture as well as about the cultures of other people. One of these goals is to assist these young Indian people in becoming tomorrow's healthy and complete leaders. But first and foremost, they have to learn to speak once again, to use their inner voice. Without that, everything that we do does not make a dent.
People go through many transitions throughout their lives.
The transition between middle school and high school is historically a time when we lose a lot of students in school. Our work focuses on the difficult transition students face between high school and the next phase of their lives. We know that the ones who succeed have a sense of strong self-esteem and they can speak up for themselves. They've identified goals and they have good leadership skills, and they have solid connections with healthy, responsible adults in their lives. Through the week-long NYLT camp, the Outward Bound Wilderness activities, and many other programs through the University of Minnesota, we help students to develop their leadership abilities. The main thing we're trying to do here is provide students with all the available options to them, tools for their toolbox, if you will, and making them educated consumers so that they have, all of the knowledge available to them as they enter the world after high school.
Our students will struggle. I know they'll find their own answer. I know the answer will be unique, and I know it's not going to be a cookie-cutter experience for all of them, but they will all have their own individualized experiences. My first experience as a 17-year-old youth from my reservation was a very challenging one and very scary one for me. I'd never left home, I'd never left the reservation for any extended period of time, so I really understand what our new students feel when they leave home and the reservation for the first time.
It was a challenge working with people from a different culture for the first time ever. And this is where so much learning takes place, when kids are outside of their comfort zones. They're here to experience discomfort.
I've long been a proponent of experiential education and service learning because it takes place outside of the classroom. The classroom's shortcoming is the fact that it does not address issues of rage or isolationism or all the isms that affect particularly young American Indian people.
A lot of times in the public discourse and in our society, we don't value young people and the expectations of young people, especially young people of color. We live in a racialized society, and so people don't have high expectations for them. They expect them to fail, they expect them to be mediocre. We need what they have to offer. But if they're just being mediocre, then they're not going to be able to offer much.
After registration, we place the students into new groups that are no longer with their friends or no longer with their home groups. We place them out in the woods for a 24-hour immersion.
We get a group of kids, anywhere from 10 to 15 kids, and they're brought together randomly as they come in, so they don't know each other, and it's all part of the immersion program. The idea of it is to get them to be able to work together as a team, get to know each other, feel comfortable with each other. One of the ways we do that is by using the Low Initiatives course. My goal was really to work on teamwork, communication, and trust with them. I do that through a series of different activities. Some of them are really silly, and it's sort of to break the ice, get them to feel comfortable around each other, like the peanut butter swamp, where they all have to get on a tarp. And everything miraculously changes into peanut butter, and they're floating on a piece of bread out there. And their task is to turn that piece of bread over to turn the rest of the land back to its natural state.
For a lot of them, it's the first time that they've been in a community that's so open about a lot of issues. I mean, people talk about race, they talk about where they're from, And the first 24 hours, the immersion was really an equalizing experience. People were split up from their comfort zone. You didn't have your cell phone. You didn't have your watch. So everybody was starting from the same point.
Hold up tonight. Hold up, we need a dry place, because what about if it rains?
Wubba wubbas! Oh! Wubba 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 wubba.
The theme of the leadership training camp this year is serve, learn, and change the world. Serve, learn, and change the world.
We actually were able to count shooting stars that night, and actually I got to see the Aurora Borealis for the first time ever in my life, Northern Lights. Just the shimmering curtain in the sky, we started waking everybody else up. I mean, 3 in the morning, start talking about religion, whether or not there is other intelligent life in the universe besides ourselves.
I am 17 years old. I am about to be a senior at South High School in Minneapolis.
I know Brian from a few years ago when I worked at South High. Brian was just one of those students that has an innate gift of taking risks. You don't see that a lot in kids his age. He always maintains a pretty high GPA, and they're in courses that are pretty, rigorous.
This is a Calculus 1 class. It's a very small percentage of the kids that end up being at the Calc 1 level, and Brian was one of those. He's worked very hard to be there.
I love math. Math is fun. I just like working with numbers. Probably become an accountant or something. I want to be A-Rod's agent.
Well, remember, it's 2 problems. Brian's a real leader in the class. He's not afraid to take a chance.
A lot of Native American youth just they don't push themselves. They don't go to their full potential. They just kind of blend in with the rest of everybody at their school.
My expectations of Brian are probably not as high as his are. I think he has a real high standard for himself and what he wants to achieve. Sharing and generosity is kind of something that American Indians kind of have hardwired into us. I think it's probably the reason why we're still here. It's nice when a kid like Brian can kind of keep that intact, keep giving and sharing and being generous, because sometimes it kind of gets siphoned out of kids through high school.
I'm just so fortunate to have such a wonderful oldest grandchild. It makes it a little bit harder for the other ones that come after him, but I think that each of them are all their own individuals, and I think that he's such a good example for others.
He's always had the self-confidence, but he's more willing to step out there and do it, share what he knows with other people. I think his new program at South that he's a part of has helped him too, because he goes and tutors little ones, and he's a lot more outgoing now, I think. And I don't really want to say I have expectations of him, because I've always told our kids that I don't have the expectations. They need to have the expectations of themselves. I think the biggest obstacle that Brian would face would be being a minority. I've always told our kids that, that's one of the biggest things. You have to work twice as hard, and you won't get the same recognition as other people. It's not fair, but it's the way life is.
We haven't limited him as far as learning different backgrounds and stuff, and we'll leave it up to him to kind of form his own opinions and to go forward with what he feels comfortable with.
I don't know, I kind of am quiet a lot, but when I do open my mouth, the stuff I say is really important, and a lot of people learn from that.
Now you're in the woods,
Now you're in the swamp. Now you have mosquitoes all around your face. You can't be cute anymore because now you smell kind of funny. So now once you get outside your comfort zone, you become a real leader, because a lot of times as a leader, you're not in your comfort zone. You're in a boardroom, you're in a meeting with people that don't like you or people that don't want to hear what you got to say. You got to get outside your comfort zone, and that's what we're teaching here. Confidence is a big thing for a leader, because a lot of times you will be the only one who believes you're correct. You'll be the only one who believes in the information that you have. So what you end up seeing happen is that if you're really confident in yourself, you'll be able to make a lot of things happen. If it wasn't for those leaders, we would still be sitting here as cavemen beating on rocks, talking about, I wish we could make a fire.
Yeah.
I try to be really kind and helpful. I like being helpful because I grew up with a family of 7 and I have 4 younger siblings. So helpful just came along with the siblings. I get influenced a lot, and sometimes it's bad influences. I get in trouble with a lot. Not a lot, but every once in a while.
She's got a lot of confidence. You know, she's got a lot of what I didn't have when I was her age. She's willing to try new things. She has, I guess, a lot of those old traditional qualities, you know, that you don't see too often in young people today. And she's also an adolescent. We say in her second quadrant in life, you know, in that cycle of life. Education is very important. I don't expect perfection, but do your best. As with her older sisters and brother, they've all been to college. It's not about making an honor roll, but when I know that she can do it, then I do expect it.
I teach consumer math that deals with day-to-day problems in math, checking, savings accounts, insurance, and so forth, and she really took an interest to it. I do expect her to do well in life. I think she could do anything she really puts her heart into.
18.46. I really wasn't on track to graduate in 9th and 10th grade. When they told me I was going to be graduating early, my mom was really excited.
For her to receive her diploma and graduate early was really something. I've seen her work hard. It's really an expectation with my children. This last school that she was at here, ALC, where she received her diploma, I got a lot of compliments from her teachers. She did quite well. She did some classes that she really enjoyed. You know, I know she liked the math even. They used it in real life situations and child care. You know, she's really good with children, and they like her, they respond to her.
I miss you too. The crocodile grained white.
Val's a graduate, a high school graduate, and I think everybody is so proud of that. Yeah, she made it, and she struggled, and she went through some hard times, and she worked through it.
Valerie's Native American culture is important to her. It is her way of life. She knows about who she comes from. You know, she comes from Chief Sitting Bull of the Unkpapa, and she comes from Chief Two Bears of the Yanktonai. I'm very proud of Valerie. I know she probably doesn't hear it enough. To have a daughter like Val, you know, it is really an honor.
I'm going to go nanny for my sister in North Carolina when she gets back from the Army. She's got a 3-year-old, and her grandma's watching her right now. Next May, she's going to go back to Iraq for about 3 or 4 months, and she's going to leave her little 3-year-old with me and her 2-month-old newborn. During that nannying, she's going to pay for me to go to college online. I want to be a real estate agent or a child care director or something.
I'd like you to share with us, real briefly, one of your heroes or sheroes in your life.
Crazy Horse. Michael Jordan. Jesus Christ. My twin Joe.
My parents. Black Elk.
My cousin. My older sister.
My best friend Lakia.
My mom. My whole family.
My older brother.
Bell Hooks.
My hero is my sister because she got off the rails.
My hero is Crazy Horse because he died for his people.
Sean here's my shero. But nah, for real, this guy is really cool. Anybody who could put up with me for 24 hours and still want to hang around, a hero in my book.
What we'd like to know is what kind of qualities or attributes make them a hero or a shero to you?
They have to be motivated, good decision making, determined, unbiased, tough, understanding.
Students were asked to identify qualities and characteristics that they identified most with their heroes and sheroes.
I go to the Fond du Lac Ojibwe School in Cloquet, Minnesota.
At the school, we do a lot of Native American Indian history and issues. We tie that in with the state standards for U.S. history, government, geography.
Math, it just doesn't click with me. I don't get it very much. We don't have like a solid math teacher. We haven't had a regular one in like 3 years. It's always been substitutes. So we once I start learning something, another teacher comes in and teaches me a different way, so I can't really learn.
He doesn't have to go here. Gino lives in Duluth, so there's 3 other schools he could easily go to. But he chooses this one probably because he feels he fits in better and doesn't stand out as much. I would say he'd be more classified as, when people take American Indian education, he'd be the quiet student that sat in the back that you would think is not paying attention, but not a typical student here at Fond du Lac Ojibwe School. He's got a good sense of humor, likes to tell jokes, laughs a lot. I'd have to say his reading comprehension is at college level right now. Gino doesn't like to do homework. I think to him that's busy work. He'd rather just read and take the test. And he's good at taking tests, but there's always that extra homework that you do need to do. And he's quiet, and if he's got questions, he'll ask. If he doesn't, he goes right on ahead and does what he needs to do. The leadership style he has, I think, would be excelled if he knew the direction he really wanted to go. I think right now his leadership is based on that Gino's a good person. He kind of can direct people to have fun and do the right thing, but he can go above that. Gino needs to figure out what he'd like to do. He doesn't really show a big interest in anything.
I'd want to be an aerospace engineer because the whole working with rockets and airplanes and spacecraft and stuff like that, it really interests me. Well, I already know that I have to have pretty good math grades and science grades. I'm really good at science. I get A's in there. But math, I just have to work harder on. From my friends, I got a lot of support, but my family, they're just kind of have me do it on my own, to be more independent so that I'm not constantly looking for them for, always counting on them all the time. I can't really study as well at home because there's just so much chaos and ruckus and everything. There's just a lot of arguing. I was thinking about asking one of my counselors if there's any way I could get an apartment by myself, I guess. But I'm just gonna have to wait till I'm turn 19.
When I first met Gino, he was very quiet, disinterested in most things. I remember the first Pathways camp we brought him to, he didn't eat the whole weekend. And then the next time something came up, Gino wanted to participate, and from there, he just started enjoying himself more and opening up.
I think we connected with Gino in a different way because we provided a different type of learning environment, and I think he really did learn something about himself. It wasn't the traditional classroom experience. We were outdoors, we were doing things that maybe, for many of the students was probably their first time doing.
I like the attention they give me, mostly. I mean, I just like the whole feeling of walking around and everybody knows me.
Go Gino!
It's not that hard to socialize with people anymore, meeting new people and making conversation.
The one spot that I really saw him shine was when we were at the NYLT camp. And he got up with the microphone and he talked very freely and made some jokes, and he seemed really comfortable with it. He's opened up more to other students. It has a little more light to him.
I'm more confident in being able to make friends and everything. Before that, I used to just think, I'm not going to try to talk to them. They don't know me. So, I mean, if they don't like me, then I guess that's their problem. But if they do, then one more friend, I guess. Making friends isn't bad.
was a pretty good jump, but the only thing was that right there it hurt in between the legs, but so far, as the people would say, that was a good experience.
Outward Bound is an old school which asks people to come out and experience things that they've never done before. Wilderness education, group process, physical challenge, emotional challenge. When they showed up here yesterday, we talked about the fact that it wasn't about making them professional canoers or climbers or outdoors people. We needed to be able to relate it to home. So we're going to challenge them to do things, make them a little uncomfortable doing something they've never done before. Jumping off the zip platform, meeting people that you've never met, working and living with people you've never spent time with that you might be uncomfortable with. This has to make sense at home.
I'm doing pretty good in school. I'm taking Ojibwe language as a college class. I plan on joining the military. After I join the military, I plan on going to college for a little while, and I don't know what I'm gonna major in really. I haven't decided that yet.
Grab your Y ropes and pull up. Keep pulling.
I'm a senior at Cloquet High School. I just applied for college the other day at the University of Southern California. I'm already in 5 college classes this year. I want to be majoring in physical therapy or biokinesiology, or I might just be a lawyer, but I'm not sure yet. You're always going to be put in new situations, and you just got to learn to adapt to them the best you can.
You as individuals have a number of different cultural perspectives. You have your culture from your history, from your language. You have your culture from your age. You have your culture from your neighborhood. All of these things influence the way you see certain things, the way you see the world, the way you see other people.
What we were doing, we were getting the students to look at and think about how the general society, usually can say media or something like that, influences their view of people from different cultural backgrounds. And so by giving them cultures that they could describe, cultures based on race or gender or age or things of that nature, they're describing or listing all of the stereotypes, the labels, the words that they have heard about that particular group. And it's important that we say that it's things that they've heard and not believe. On the same sheet of paper, you're also listing the things that support what they had heard. Media influences, movies, magazines, newspapers. What people come to the conclusion is that there are a lot of societal things, cultural things that influence the way we see other people from different cultures and different backgrounds.
What is it that you notice about these lists? Most of them are negative? That all stereotypes are bad? That most of the stereotypes are kind of designed there to kind of put people down and make comparisons and make another group feel like as if they were better or higher up? So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned before, I'm going to come by, I'm going to give him a nice quick one to the back of the head. It's probably going to put him out for a few minutes, but we'll wake him up. I'm going to say sorry, and after we wake him up, splash him with water. You got the water? Okay, after we wake him up, what we want to know is, after I said sorry, did he still feel it? What do you think? Are you going to feel it?
Yeah.
Even if I say sorry?
I think so. Let's try it. Let's get it.
No, he's nailed. You don't get it what I'm saying. Hold on, let me say it one more time. I'm going to apologize to the bottom of my heart. I am so sorry. I did not mean to do this to you.
Yes.
Okay? But I want to know, after I apologize, are you going to feel it?
Feel the pain?
Yes. Are you going to feel it?
Yeah.
Even if I say I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go over one. He's not getting it. He's not getting it. I'm really going to apologize. I'm going to be sincere about my apology. How can he feel it if I said I didn't mean it? Even though you don't mean to do something, you still impact people.
Like if someone came up to me and said, oh, you're ugly or something, it'll hurt me, but then after a while it'll just kind of disappear, we'd forget about it. But something like that, racist stuff, you don't just forget about that. It'll always hurt you as you grow up.
Kids know about race and they've talked about issues of racism before, but Some really haven't experienced it the way others have experienced it, and I think this activity really puts it all out there and levels the playing field and shows students equally how society views issues of race.
We're going to have a race. Mr. Tony here has 3 prizes. They're for the 3 winners. Before we get the race started, we're going to determine your starting position. Take a step forward if there is or was a computer in your house. Take a step forward if you saw adults reading in your home on a regular basis. Take a step forward if your family took vacations on a regular basis. Take a step forward if your parents own a second home or a summer home. Take 1 step back if you are from a single-parent, female-headed household.
And what if she got a boyfriend?
Take 1 step forward if you can do well in a challenging situation without being called a credit to your race. 1 step back if you have had a family member ever in prison. Take 1 step back if you have ever been told you have a learning disability. Take a step back if any family member has or is currently on welfare. 3 steps back if you are black. 4 steps back if you are red. First people to Tony, get the candy bars. 1, 2, 3. What did you observe?
Just like how the candy bars, it's harder for us to get to the candy bars. It's almost the same thing, and once again, they would keep us back from getting to the jobs.
I was so far back, I knew I wouldn't even have a chance of getting it.
But the people in front, they just dipped over there. Like if someone was running after them, like a bear or something.
Like a lot of people think that like black people are like raised in the hood, and like they dress a certain way and everything like that. And my house is like the Cosby house.
I was so used to having everything, but now that I'm here, it's like, man, I don't have it anymore, And so that's how it is in the world. There's some people that just don't have.
You don't need to drink or do drugs to be cool on the reservation. In fact, it's like the opposite way. If you're able to not do it, people look up to you.
It happens to me all the time. Stereotype, once again, that's what it is.
Service learning is an important element in introducing American Indian students to the value of service as well as the value of community. Students worked and volunteered in organizations that utilize service as their core, such places as Anatoth Farm.
We really enjoy having student groups out here, showing folks a way to live that has a lighter impact. The other part of our work is nonviolent direct action against the war system, so you might hear a little bit about our anti-war work today too.
We work real hard to prevent war, so you guys have a future.
I thought that they were going to try and make us believe what they think and preach around, but they didn't do that at all. All throughout the day, we just asked questions, and they'd answer questions like very politely, and they were really, really sweet.
Students also worked at places such as Special Olympics, explored hunger and homelessness issues, as well as served in nursing homes and at Second Harvest.
That's good. Now we can go.
Just now, we just moved that big giant cement mixer from there. Now I think we're gonna start moving some stuff.
I need to work on really try to be a real leader and not make it, as my parents would call it, the Joe Show. It doesn't need to be that it needs to be everybody up in this picture and not just me. My main thing was to start a new beginning in my life, to make them all proud of me, to make them see, hey, he can handle himself.
Here we go. What I say? Hands like this. You can't really look at them as different people just because they can't do the things that we do all the time. We're all a family, we're one. And that's what I learned today.
Now
benefit of the NYLT is that it is intentionally diverse in both its student population and its staff population. This is some of the first opportunity for particularly young American Indian students to be in a diverse environment.
There's a lot of racial stuff that goes on in school, a lot of racist people in school, you know. I used to kind of be racist against white people, I'm gonna admit that. Now that we did some of the activities, now some of the kids are starting to realize not all Caucasian white people are all racist, you know. Some of them are really good, and maybe during when I'm going to college, try to get a program together, try to get kind of like this where they have all these different variety of different colors here, and they're just trying to get them all to bond together. That's what I want to try to do.
I met a lot of new people. They all have so many different insights on the world, and it really helps you just expand your view on the world itself.
I came here having the idea that I would become more of an individual and learn how to be stronger, because that's how I usually am. I'm very, I do myself, I rely on myself a lot. I learned here, the teamwork is a lot more important than just relying on yourself. A lot of the culture itself, I never knew about African American culture. I never knew about Native American culture. I came here and I heard that Latin American culture, I wanted the salsa, but I never really knew about the culture. I learned that people can be just as passionate about their culture as I am about mine.
Oh, grandfather, I've been asleep in search of a dream. My mouth cracks, my tongue aches. I perceive the world with a distracted view. I see not the world in me, for I misplace my thoughts of you. What keeps a culture, what makes a culture unique, is how it looks at the world and sees itself in that world.
But I ain't never just want to be a slave. Nope, not me. I want to be able to raise my kids, learn how to read the Bible, how to read other books and stuff. Know that you can do something more than just being a slave.
Hamitakupi. Hamitakupi, which means hello all my relatives. And in Chickasaw and Choctaw you say Chukma Akana. Chukma Akana. Hello friends.
Hari Unska, meaning hello my friends. I'm Carrier from British Columbia, Canada.
This is Matt, I'm from Spokane, I'm from Fond du Lac Reservation.
I'm Winnebago Indian out of Nebraska. Call ourselves Ho Chunk.
I'm Shoshone Apache and Cherokee. My name is Shante Washtewi. It means good-hearted woman. Jigwin Lakota from White Earth.
I'm Anishinaabe. I'm from Fond du Lac and I'm enrolled in Mille Lacs.
I'm from Lower Sioux Reservation, Moore, Minnesota.
I'm from Standing Rock Reservation and I'm Unkapapa Yintene.
I'm a Navajo.
I'm from Rosebud, South Dakota.
And I'm from Bloomington, Minnesota.
Buzu!
I'm John Swanson. I'm from Taos, New Mexico, and I'm ready to do this.
I'm actually someone here who
wasn't expecting to be impacted so much because I'm kind of really set in my ways a lot. I learned a lot more about giving and sharing and things like that, things that I don't normally do. I'm actually kind of a selfish person.
Brenda's been very easy. We've been fortunate. Brenda's awesome, most times. She's smart. She has her head on straight. She thinks things through. She knows where she wants to go. Even when she was young, she could always take control of the situation. She's just always been a leader, always.
We belong to the Thunder Clan in our tradition. That's the chief clan of the tribe. And I told her that. I says, that's probably your destiny, is you're going to be a leader somewhere or somehow. Ever since she was little, I always remembered we used to read to her a lot, and she was just intrigued by reading. She reads and reads and reads. I've never seen anything like it. That's the way my dad was. He was a college graduate, and he spent a lot of time reading, but she carries it on.
Brian's great-grandma named the children all their names. Brenda's name is
Chachsepskainga.
I can never say it right.
Chachsepskainga.
White Eagle Woman. We're just very fortunate. All our children are just do really well in school, and they're just great kids all the way around. And I don't know if it's anything that we've done as parents.
Persistence, maybe.
Positive discipline and
right.
And just lots of love. Lots of love, lots of family time. There's many nights when we just sit around with our 2 dogs and cats and all 5 of us just watching movies and eating popcorn, or, and we try to eat supper at the dinner table together at least 3 times a week.
I don't know what we did wrong, but our kids are good. They turned out good.
Yeah. Our hopes for Brenda are that she will go to college and succeed in life. I'd like to see her do things that we never really got to do, or we didn't do, we chose not to do, I guess. To go to college and live on campus and experience everything she can possibly experience, to go as far as she can possibly go.
She's a go-getter. I mean, when it comes to schoolwork and stuff like that, and she knows what's expected, and we really usually don't have to tell her. We get on her sometimes when we feel she's procrastinating and not doing what she should be doing, but somehow she seems to always get it done.
I like school a lot, actually. I get good grades, so it's not too hard for me. And I'm looking forward to studying my senior year next year, and then I'm ready to go to college. I want to get involved in conservation and animals and things like that, and it's good to have leadership skills to try and help people see where the issues are. Try and find common ground for everybody to see the problem, and then trying to get a group of people to get together to try and save certain parts of the world that are being abused.
She got back from camp this summer with the leadership program there. It seemed like she had a little more confidence in herself, and she doesn't have a problem getting up in front of people and saying stuff, The biggest obstacle will probably be financial. I mean, that's always the hardest part when going to college, and we've told her we'll help her out as much as we can, and I think she'll be fine, but a lot of prayers and stuff like that all helps.
All teenagers think they know everything, but there's going to be situations that come up, whereas now she has us to come to right away, and it's going to be a little scary out there, I think.
One of the expectations that we have for the American Indian students in these programs is that they take this training, these experiences, these opportunities, and develop from that action plans within their communities, within their cultures, within their schools that contribute to their knowledge and their sense of self and sense of community. When young American Indian people find their voice, when they find this important element in who they are as young people, that serves the purpose of giving hope, giving reason to the aspirations that communities and tribes and families have for the young people. It gives the opportunity for families to not worry about their young people, to know that the young people are on a path that is going to take them to a place that parents and grandparents and their parents only wished and hoped that young American people can attain and aspire to.
It's life-changing. I mean, I just never thought
that so many people have the problems that I have, and we could relate to each other.
Actually, when we came in during the immersion, I can't wait for this to be over. And I didn't think I was gonna make it. And now, the people I've met, I don't want to leave them now. It's just like, I don't want this thing to be over.
Always remember that words are power. They heal like time, make a strong heart cower. Storms in winter and hot summer sun bring forth flowers and wear mountains down. Hardship, they say, comes from the north. She's a woman in a big red dress. She teaches hard lessons and speaks of dreams, the ones you need courage to reach for. You see, the old ones prayed that you would come from 7 generations away. Those ancient prayers have come to life. They are you and you are they. They are you and you are they. Stepping out over that reservation line can be hard and scary sometimes, but you walk your road.